All right, here we go. Profit picks at 6. Going over week 5. I can't even hear myself. What's going on? Going over week 5 in the NFL, recapping week 4. Let's bring up the star of the show, the spreadsheet. So we did all right last week, 7-7, 7-7-2 rather. Really weird to see 2 pushes in the same week. The entire last season only had 3 pushes. So with the style of picking the show, picking games against the spread, you are going to have pushes. Like there's no way to avoid it. If it lands on 3, the line's 3, you can't win either way. So works out for us a little bit, but pushes aren't wins, so I count them as losses. Missed the lock of the week to move down to 50% on the season. Missed the dog. That was the Bears, but we did get it on the board with our first 6-point teaser, teasing the Jets up and the Texans also up through that key number, got us there. So let's just go over really quick week 4. Thursday night, yeah, I thought it was time for Miami to cool off, and Tua unfortunately getting injured, devastating my fantasy team. But I think we'll rebound nicely. Patriots, taking them plus 10, that ended up being a tight game. I got smoked. I was trying to live bet unders, and the game ended up going way over. So sometimes you get burned on that. Packers do not look good right now. Aaron Rodgers kind of got to get his mind right, huh? Saints and the Vikings. That was the London game. A push there, and then Buffalo. This one actually moved to 3.5. So if you had the Ravens plus 3.5, that was a miracle cover to stop Buffalo there at the end and force them to just kick a field goal for the win. Jesus Christ, hang on. I mean, in and out like 7 fucking times. I don't get it. Jacksonville and the Eagles. Too much. Too many points. Jags off to a 14-point lead early. And just something to say about that one. I'm going to call him out. I didn't do it on Twitter. I'm going to do it here. Robbie V texted me Sunday morning, hey, the weather's going to be terrible. Bet the under. And that one didn't work out. Fortunately, I paid a little bit more juice to, I think it was 52. I got it under 52, something like that. Paid some juice and did squeak out some cash, but Robbie V, that was a brutal one. But the weather did look bad. I mean, they had the tarp on the field. Browns game. Browns look a little bit lost. I think they pissed that one away at the end. I don't know if I'm ready to jump off yet, though. Real barn burner in the Seahawks and Lions game. Fun fact for you about the Lions. The highest scoring team in the league, but also giving up the most points against. So something to keep in mind moving forward. Chargers in Houston, that was a good one to tease up. Again, I'm not big on the Chargers. I just don't get it. I don't get the hype. Justin Herbert, I'm a hater. I mean, you're in your 20s, mid 20s, and he's got like pimples all over his face and shit. Like, I don't know. I just don't. I think he looks like a douchebag. Titans and the Colts. Just a bad read. I don't have a good read on the Titans. They're kind of hot and cold this season. Jets getting it done for us outright. That was part of our teaser. And Kenny Pickett coming in for the Steelers. We got an interesting one. Let's just quick hurry ahead so that we can talk about them. Commanders really stink. I saw a funny comment on Reddit just a bit ago. Instead of betting on Carson Wentz, why don't you just donate your money to a nice charity? I thought that was funny. Cooper Rush looking good. Some people talking about him, that he's only good against the blitz for a couple of games. We'll see. So want to look out for him. I think I mentioned last week that when Dak does come back, there's a couple teams that might be looking at scooping him up if Cooper Rush is going to be the guy. He's certainly got the QB name. Bears, there was a significant amount of time left in the Bears-Giants game there, and it was like, holy shit. The Giants are 3-1. Like, I just very surprising. And I thought it was time to jump off of the Cardinals because I've been so trusting. And then, of course, that happens. They win by 10. Raiders, I knew they were due. Too many missed covers that, eventually water finds its level. KC game was very exciting. Not that much to say about that one. Tampa, I wanted, I live bet a Brady passing yards under, and I totally just didn't realize that they're a pass first offense. And I live bet like under 321.5 passing yards, and he smoked that. And then the Rams and the Niners, the Niners really have their number in the regular season, but we'll see come playoff time how they do against the Rams. So let's get into week 5. Start with the Thursday game, and then we'll do the Patriots. This one, so Jonathan Taylor was ruled out this afternoon. If you didn't see that, we got Chris in the comments. How's your fantasy team? You have a big game this week. Fantasy team's rebuilding. I'll give you my thoughts. Nobody really cares to hear about your fantasy team. After a blowout win, I've had a couple close ones, and I'm looking for potentially another quarterback. And Derek Carr was on my radar. He's projected to have the most fantasy points out of all available quarterbacks. And I'll give you a stat when we get to that game as the Raiders head to the Chiefs this week. So with the Colts heading to Denver, Mile High, Jonathan Taylor ruled out today. I did get another free roll of my sportsbook. No free ads here on Profit Picks at 6, but my sportsbook that I used did give me another free roll. And I've been really bad about tweeting out the follow-up because these have been losing, and I'm not counting them as losers because I get another free bet after if it misses. So the stipulation for this one has to be Thursday night, has to be at least 3 legs, and needs to be at least plus 400 or greater. So I put this together. Broncos plus 11.5. Under 51.5 in the game. That's paying some juice. I think we're going to be safe with that one. Jerry Jeudy over 24.5 receiving yards, so 25 plus. Russell Wilson over 199.5 passing yards, so that's 200 plus. And then I'm looking for something big out of Cortland Sutton, over 39.5 receiving yards and to score a touchdown anytime. That's paying out plus 504. The anytime touchdown score, that's going to be tough, but that got us over the threshold to be eligible for this promo. And then I did throw in this one. I'll include it because we are green for the year, plus 0.32 units. I'll throw this one in here. He's a Syracuse guy. How about Latavius Murray to score the first touchdown tomorrow at plus 1900? Just sprinkle it to make 3.6 units. Hopefully that gets done for us. I actually worked with a guy who played high school football here in Syracuse, and his team played against Latavius Murray when he was here. And he said he was just impossible to tackle. They got smoked like 54-0. Lions heading to the Patriots. I already mentioned the Lions lead the league in scoring, but also lead the league in points against. I think Belichick is going to have the game plan dialed in against Dan Campbell. I couldn't think of his first name. Dan Campbell. What's the total in this game? Because I don't expect a lot of points. But I'm going with the Lions. Road dog. Total's 45.5. I like that under. Lean under on that one. But yeah, I just don't know if Patriots offense is going to be able to keep up with Detroit's scoring. So I'm going to take the 3.5. And one other thing on that Thursday game, I did have a stat for you. Courtesy of Ralph Michaels. You can follow him on Twitter. He's a great follow. Always putting out stats like this. He's at Cal Sports LV. And he says, did you know? Oh, wrong stat, Philly. Home favorites on Thursday night, hitting 66.7% of the time since 2016 from game 3 on. Thursday home favorites, 32-16-1 against the spread. So that was another reason to go with the Broncos, besides Jonathan Taylor being out for the Colts, their main source of offense, I would say. Giants heading to Green Bay. Green Bay just looks lost, and Giants are hot. So we'll just take the points. Not too much analysis there. Who are they starting? Teddy Bridgewater's starting for Miami. They call him Teddy Covers. I don't know. The Jets got that guy. His name's Sauce something. He's a cornerback, and he's just played lockdown defense this year. I like the Jets. I think they saw something. What was his name? Cornerback for the Jets. Sauce Gardner. Thanks, producer. Sauce Gardner playing lockdown defense like the Jets there in division. Tennessee, Washington. This is the one where I saw that Reddit comment. Just don't bet on Carson Wentz. Just donate your money to a nice charity. The Titans look lost this season, so I can't trust them. So we'll take the Commanders. People are down on them. And Houston, I don't trust them either. And after getting us that cover with the T's, I don't see it. Jacksonville got off to that hot lead, 14-0, and then fizzled out. I think against a more mediocre team this time. I think they can hold on. Saints kind of in a get right spot. I usually don't trust the Seahawks, so I was doing some playing around with getting these percentages to be more balanced. You can see my road favorites pick percentage still lacking, so that was one that I made sure to include. Not one that I made to include. I'm losing it. Okay, Pittsburgh heading to Buffalo. It's a get right game for the Bills too. New quarterback. I let it fly in when I came home from work. New quarterback in for Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett. They're changing up the playbook, letting him air it out. I think he threw something like 17 passes in the second half when he got to come in. So, this Bills team is supposed to be high powered, and the last 2 weeks have really, really disappointed. I'm just going to stick. 14 is a big number because you got to win by 15. But I think a lot of people are going to be on Pittsburgh here, and I will not be. Don't think it's time to jump off the Browns. I like them. Maybe I'll tweet out another Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown score as that becomes available because, like I've been saying, I think I'm pretty in tune with the Browns offense and could have made money if we kept picking Nick Chubb every week, but I think Kareem Hunt's due. He hasn't scored a touchdown since week 1. And he really does split carries with Nick Chubb. Probably, I would say like a 35-65 or a 60-40, something like that kind of split. So he gets his touches, just not as many. I like a Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown score for that one. Bears and Vikings, I think this one's going to be close. Just the proximity thing. And again, I could see the Barstool Chicago guys like really, really getting amped up for this one against the Vikings Midwest battle. And I've never been real big on the Falcons, but Tampa did not look good. Yes, they're playing the Chiefs, but I don't know. Brady's got his divorce stuff going, so maybe a little distracted. Planning out a promo for him for Hit the Post on Friday. That's over on Mixcloud. Niners heading to the Panthers. These next couple I don't have a ton of analysis on. We were on the Panthers last time. People are going to be high on San Fran after Monday's game. I think it's time to fade. So we'll jump on Baker Mayfield and the Panthers. And the Eagles are hot, and Cardinals are. I mean, they got their dub, but Matt Prater, their kicker, hasn't done shit all year. You want to talk about fantasy, Chris Methuen, Matt Prater. I have him in 2 different leagues, and that guy hasn't done shit. And now he's listed as out. You know, I did make a roster move, but he's really not doing anything for me anyway. So it's not much of a loss there. And the Eagles look good, high powered for sure. Jalen Hurts balling out. This is the one I almost read it off, but I didn't. And this is another stat from Ralph Michaels. He does. I don't think he works for them, but he contributes to them. I don't know. Like, I'm sure they pay him for Wager Talk. Shout out to them. Shout out Kelly in Vegas. I'm a huge fan. But if you didn't know this, on the road, the Cowboys are quietly 10-1 their last 11 against the spread. So, like the road team catching points. Rams suck. So I just They look really bad after winning the Super Bowl, like really, really bad. These last couple, Bengals heading to the Ravens. Ravens like with that miracle cover or push for us, but for a lot of people that got it at 3.5. That was impressive at the end. I thought for sure the Bills would score a touchdown. That is, I like the Bengals. I think they're coming into it. Offense is humming now. And last one, the Monday night game is the Raiders heading to Kansas City. And I have a stat here from Jamie Eisenberg, works for CBS, mostly doing fantasy coverage. Here's some more fantasy talk for you, Chris. Derek Carr's played at Kansas City 8 times in his career, and he has one game with more than 12 fantasy points. The lone exception was Week 5, 2020, when he scored 29 fantasy points. That was a game where the Raiders took a victory lap around the field, around Arrowhead. So Derek Carr was not on my list of fantasy quarterbacks I was looking to pick up. Let's pick out a lock dog and tease, and we'll get out of here. So, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to lock Denver tomorrow. Lock the early game. And I did this last year. Yellow for the lock, blue for TNF, makes green. We use a different green than my conditional formatting. Our dog of the week. See, I want to use the Giants there, but teasing it up gets you through some key numbers. Our dog of the week, going back to the well with the Browns. And a 6-point teaser that I like is the Giants up. It's not 3 L's in a row because there's only been 4 weeks. And I'm 2-2. I'm 2-2. Get your facts straight. First half of the teaser, Giants going up from 8.5, 14.5. Gets us through some key numbers, that 9.5, 10, 10.5. And then the other half of our teaser going to be, let's take Dallas up because of that stat. 10-1 their last 11 on the road. Oh, this week you'll lose. That'll be 3. Simple math. Okay. Projecting a fantasy loss for the East Dillon Lions. I don't think so. But we're injury riddled right now, so we'll find a way. Might need to make another quarterback switch. I picked up Jimmy Garoppolo, and I don't know if he's the best fantasy quarterback. Like somebody more like a Tom Brady, I guess. Those dump off passes, just chew up some garbage yards. Just a recap here. Our lock of the week is tomorrow. Broncos -3.5 at home. Dog of the week is the Browns at home against the Chargers. Get right game. We're looking for that Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown score prop. And our 6-point teaser of the week. We're going to tease up the New York Giants, the 3-1 New York Football Giants, from 8.5 to 14.5, and Cowboys on the road against the Rams. We're going to get it from 5.5 to 11.5. Chris says my opponent's a buzzsaw. We'll see. That's all I got. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, episode 29 of Hit the Rice Bucket. Big one, because the NHL season starts this weekend. overseas. So we'll have some first predictions. Do a prediction show. Hopefully get Fitzy on again. He's always good. And then right after that, Stock Talk Live. I'll give you a little preview. We're on the brink of like a global economic catastrophe. So it's a fun show to be doing right about now, as there's a lot of worries that several global banks will be going under. And then Friday, 8 o'clock over on Mixcloud, mixcloud.com/hitthepost. You can also go to hitthepost.live. It'll take you to the same place. Hitting the post at 8 o'clock. And then Saturday, it's 420 somewhere, 8 o'clock over on this very channel, the 5 network. And then I believe going forward on Mondays, we're going to have the wrestling show. I don't know if they've settled on a time. I think 7 o'clock. That's it. Good luck. And as always, please gamble responsibly.